everyone, this is Dr. Janina Scarlett with Superhero Therapy. Tonight we're going to be talking about phobias. Now, as somebody who works with patients with phobias, it would be hypocritical of me if I did not face my own fears. And this, being on camera, is one of my biggest fears. The only thing that can possibly make it worse is if there's an audience. Therefore, tonight's episode is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Phobia means an extreme or irrational fear of something. For example, acrophobia is a fear of heights, and claustrophobia is a fear of tight spaces. So we're going to be talking about different examples in geek culture where we see different characters experiencing these phobias. We're also going to talk about how people can overcome these phobias. So, as my friends are making faces on the other side of the room, I'm going to attempt to tell you about different kinds of phobias that we see in geek literature. First, let's start with Batman. Batman actually started out having a great fear of bats. It all started when he fell into the well and was attacked by a bunch of bats. Rather than running away from his fear, Bruce Wayne embraced it, becoming the Batman. Another famous example is Ron Weasley from the Harry Potter series. Ron suffers from something called arachnophobia, which is fear of spiders. What ultimately helped Ron overcome his fear was actually facing it. In Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Hermione was petrified. In order to save her, Ron and Harry were supposed to go into the Forbidden Forest. They had to follow the spiders in order to uncover the secret of the monster that nearly killed their friend. For those of you that are X-Men fans, you might remember that Aurora Monroe, otherwise known as Storm, suffers from severe claustrophobia, which is fear of tight spaces. When Aurora was a little girl, she and her family were crushed by an airplane. Her parents were killed, and Aurora barely made it out alive. Years later, when she joined the X-Men, there were many occasions when Storm had difficulty in protecting her fellow X-Men due to being stuck in a tight situation. So there are actually over 100 identified phobias that are officially recognized by the American Psychiatric Association. These phobias are broken down into different categories. There's animal phobias, like mice, snakes, cockroaches, and spiders. There's situational phobias, like fear of tight spaces, also called claustrophobia, and fear of flying. There's natural environment, such as fear of storms, fire, or water. Injection phobias, and other phobias, like fear of clowns. For people with social phobia, they might be afraid to eat in public. Some phobias are more common, such as the fear of public speaking, fear of flying, or fear of driving, or fear of embarrassing oneself. Other fears are much less common, such as fear of flying cats. Oh no! Oh no! So if you have a fear or a phobia, such as a fear of flying, fear of driving, or fear in social situations, don't worry, you're not alone. Most people have some kind of anxiety. And if you would like a little bit of extra help, your therapist can help you overcome your fear by doing something called exposure therapy. Exposure therapy means facing your fear in a safe and gradual manner. You can think of it as superhero training. Like Batman, you too might be able to overcome your fear. And maybe like Daredevil, you might be able to embrace the very thing that you were once afraid of. Either with your loved ones or with your therapist, you can create a list of gradual exposures that would allow you to face your fear one at a time in a safe and supportive way. Most people's fear reactions reduce over time the more they continue to face their fears. If you have any questions about how anxiety disorders are treated or would like any additional information, please feel free to leave the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to get additional news about superhero therapy.